What's going on, everybody? Drew from Future Strategy Gaming. Happy Floral Friday. I am still catching up on all the Bellular clips. Haven't been able to get to them, so there's like 6 more of these reaction videos coming in rapid fire just as I catch up on things, and then I can finally move on to other people, as well as continue working on my own content for the channel that isn't reaction videos. So this one we're going to do WoW could learn a lesson from Final Fantasy. Apparently there's some end game stuff that he thinks WoW should have. So let's see what he's talking about.
Got a super from CW. He says, "All right, I'm trying to slap myself with the video.
Yeah, all right.
Do you have a bucket of happy water to douse me with?
Happy water.
Just 4 cans of Pepsi.
Happy water. Yes, okay, right.
Yep.
Recenter myself. We have a super from CW who said, arcade-style mechanics seem to be the norm now. Do you think they will introduce a training mode? Perhaps a last man standing minigame in the Dark Moon Fair or something. Also, a mechanics generator to practice while moving. Do you know what's really funny? I hit like level 4. No, I hit level 15. Yep. And FF actually teleported me to
Hall of the Novice. Yeah.
Yep. To the Hall of the Novice, and it actually taught me game mechanics. Taught me AoE avoidance.
It is basically Proving Grounds.
WoW does have
better.
a training mode with Proving Grounds. It's just that it's really quite underused. I don't even know if it scales reasonably in Shadowlands either.
I don't think it does.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think training mode is something that's really important.
That's why they created Exile's Reach and WoW, though.
I wish there was a situation where you could actually... Okay, I need to be careful with this statement. Basically, I wish that World of Warcraft was good enough at training you mechanics as you played the regular level up process.
Yeah, definitely.
That Keystone Dungeons and normal mode raiding...
You have no idea.
...would be match made. Now, I'm not saying this advocating...
That's because
for
Final
them
has
being
it.
match made. There are severe issues socially.
Yeah.
But that the average, that the player base would be well trained enough that LFR wouldn't need to exist and the normal could be match made. I'm not advocating for normal being match made, but if WoW taught people game mechanics naturally as they level to the point where it could be,
Yeah.
then
There'd
that
be
would
no
show
excuse
that,
at that
a
point.
good job would have been done in teaching the mechanics. So,
Yeah.
yes, I think anything like that, training mode stuff, I think is super important, would be great to see. I think there's a lot of people are super, they find a Mythic Plus dungeon to be a really daunting thing.
Yeah.
And that means they never get into
Interesting.
it. I mean, especially if you're a tank or healer.
It's why I'm happy to see Preach do his recent series on the basics of World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft won't teach you the basics
At all.
somewhat
Yeah.
better. I mean, I think...
Preach does a
and
great
as
job
your
on that
match-made
stuff, too.
This is probably going to shock WoW players who don't know anything about FF14. I have done reasonably difficult endgame stuff that's challenged me
Through a
bit
party
as
finder.
as a heroic WoW player, and I have never, outside of literally jumping in with friends for stuff, I've not done anything that isn't match made.
Right.
Every Savage and stuff, all the harder stuff is party finder.
Kind of. Yeah, you got to search for it.
But most of the game is match made, and players are fine. Players are good.
Yeah.
I have been the worst player in so many trials, in so many raids, and I'm that coming from a world of LFR and how many times a normal raid in WoW that I've pugged has gone wrong. That's wild to me.
Oof.
I think
It seems bonkers to me hearing you say this.
I think the caliber of player in Final Fantasy XIV, I think Final Fantasy XIV raises its players to be at a point where they can go into raids with no problem.
They just train them
The
better.
mechanics are they do require quick reactions. They do require you to have DPS checks.
But you learned it a long
Does
time
require
ago.
tanks and healers to be on the ball all the time. And I think purely because it gives you difficult single player battles and duties.
Yeah.
It makes you do dungeons party finder wise and doesn't make them too easy for you. It is the game does go, here's the hurdle, jump it.
Yeah.
And if you don't jump it,
Yeah.
if you don't jump it, you get the kind of social ostracization feeling of being the one who's always dying in a raid. Or it says, would you like to try easy mode? Would
Right.
you like to try very easy for the single player stuff?
So
you
that we
feel
can scale
you
it
feel
down
that
a little
obligation
bit.
to play correctly, because
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you otherwise.
Yeah, so I guess for me it's You know, I wouldn't say this in a way where World of Warcraft should become a fully everything's match-made game, but it's
No.
just a better way for the game to teach people mechanics. I
Yes.
think would be great. Even just
Yes.
like, yeah, that novice thing that FF has, where it's like,
Yeah, Hall
it
of the
just
Novice.
pulled me into a duty or whatever it's called, and said, hey, this is the one in AoE, so you're going to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, if I was a player who didn't really understand MMO concepts, I would get that.
Yeah.
So it seems
If you are new to Final Fantasy and you're thinking about playing, remember it's free. And you have never completed that, do so. There is a ring in there that helps with XP gains for any jobs under level 30. So the base class is up to level 30 when you get your first job. So why not take advantage of that?
seems like it does a better job there. I think WoW, yeah, you know, it doesn't do the best job. I think there's a lot of things which, you know, they make sense within the logic of WoW. So it's just all a whole bunch of World of Warcraft people talking to each other, thinking about the same things, developing WoW in its own way. Then if you come in from another game, you'll be like, whoa, this is not intuitive, I'm confused.
Sure.
I think Blizzard would stand to gain fantastically. So who knows? I mean, maybe a more robust Proving Grounds. You know,
More
that has,
fleshed
like,
out,
some
maybe?
different modes, things
Yeah.
like that would be a way to go. I'm not 100% sure, but
Just like the most common scenarios
I'd
that you're
love
going to
to see
get
Blizzard do
into,
more
other
there,
than,
and I
hey,
think
these mobs
I
just
think
keep
they
coming
know
at
that it
you.
would be, you know, that their lives as developers would be easier if the player base was a bit better trained.
Totally.
I mean, obviously, a lot of the WoW player base who you talk to online is super well trained. I think it's
Those are
more
the ones
just
speaking up, though.
those people who are not like WoW super fans who really dive deep into it. It's like you either read how to do WoW well on external sources, or you don't. And if you don't, you're probably going to have issues in most of its end game instant content.
Especially with other members of the community.
So we got that.
Yeah, cool. Super easy. Yeah, that's a really, really easy thing to adjust. Proving Grounds, the system's already there. It's just improving upon that, maybe adding a different thing, training you for specific situations. You know, I would love to see a healer needs to learn how to heal their tank appropriately and deal damage, like on a Dispriest, for instance, and then all of a sudden one of your teammates aggroes another pack by accident and you have to adjust to spamming heals or, you know, fearing or something like that. So I think it could definitely be more fleshed out, and that is a pretty good lesson that can go on. So, all right, cool. Nice and easy, nice and quick. Very, very straightforward and to the point. WoW doesn't do a good enough job to train its players, and the game suffers, but it is fixable. So, yeah, that's a good thing to touch on, especially if you have experience in both MMOs. So, thank you so much for giving me your time today, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more of these videos and some other content that's coming soon, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. I'm Drew for Future Strategy Gaming. Peace.